Hey everyone, Menachem Brody here again from Human Vortex Training, yet again. Week number 3 for our Ask the Coach segment. You guys, again, seriously, the awesome questions are just pouring in, and I feel horrible that I can't answer all of them. I really want to make sure to take the most common and kind of compact them in for each of this week. So if I don't get to your question right now, I'm hoping to get to it at some point in the next week or two. So bear with me. Feel free to ask again. Say, hey, I sent this a couple weeks ago. Will you do something about that? Because it's been a really interesting and fun ride to open my inbox every morning and see all these questions coming in. So keep them coming in. I want to spread my message. My definitive purpose, my drive in my life is to help more endurance athletes and more athletes in general be out on the road, out doing what they love, out in the water more, so not injured, not taking time off, out healthy and enjoying the healthy lifestyle and the benefits. So I'm asking each of you to do me a favor and help me spread my word and the knowledge that I've accrued and I'm sharing with you right now with 5 other people, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Have 5 other people share this link to this video or another one that you really liked with them. I really want to help as many people as possible. And the more people, the more the questions, the better the questions. And I've gotten all different type of levels. Some of you are experts that are looking for tweaking a little bit, and others are true beginners. So I'm here to help every single one of you to the best of my abilities. And I'm a huge dork. I keep on reading. Today I'm going to talk about books and sleep. So I'm going to share some of the knowledge that I have today and where I've continued to grow that knowledge. And I'm hoping that you guys can help me reach out and help more athletes stay out there doing what they love just like you do. So for today, we're going to talk about sleep first, and I know a lot of you are looking at me and say, hey, he looks a little tired today. Well, it has been an incredible week here at Human Vortex Training. I've had 6 people through for functional threshold testing, lactate threshold testing, and it is absolutely incredible, guys. This is my favorite part of year, not because of the holidays or because the snow starts or I love riding in the snow, but because the people that I see that I've been working with for a year or 3 years or 5 years, seeing them come back this time of year and seeing the progress that they have made, it just gives me such a feeling of fulfillment to see their hard work and the tumultuous times that they've been through and their perseverance pay off. So desire, perspire, achieve. And every single athlete that's been in here this week, it's a testament to that. And I want to thank each and every one of the athletes I coach for coming to me. And hopefully I can affect your life in a positive way as well through this knowledge. So as far as sleep goes, what we want to do, the question is, how much sleep should I get? And the other question is, I get 7 hours of sleep right now. Is that enough? Another one is, I don't seem to dream that often. Is that a bad thing? I'm going to kind of shotgun these into one question and talk a little bit about sleep here. So sleep is very important because it's our body's time to rest and recuperate and recover and progress as well. So it's really important to make sure that you're having a regular bedtime and getting at least a consistent amount of sleep. There's a huge misconception out there that thankfully is being debunked. You cannot bank sleep and you cannot make up sleep. If you don't get it, you don't get it. There's no such thing as making up for it. All that happens is you sleep even more because the body's worn down. So you want to make sure that you're getting to bed at a regular time. Personally, I try and choose like an hour, just the nature of my business. Usually I like to have it more in a half-hour range where I'm showered and sitting in bed in my jammies, ready to go to sleep by X or Y. And that's something you should do as well, because what it does is it teaches the body to shut down and cycle down. And what that will allow you is to achieve more of a circadian rhythm. And we all have that. We want to make sure that our body has a natural ebb and flow. There are natural cycles that we have in the body that are daily, weekly, monthly, I think quarterly and yearly, I believe it is. So there's so many different cycles, and we want to kind of help that. With that being said, a lot of people are asking, how much sleep should I get? It's a Friday night here. People are going out. There's a holiday party tonight, getting together with some of the athletes I coach and friends of those and other local cyclists and triathletes. So I know that my sleep schedule tonight is going to be a little knocked off, but that doesn't mean that you should prioritize your sleep right now or all the time over having a social life, because that is also an important part. So the thing you want to do is find that balance that works for you. So for me personally, if I get 6 hours of sleep, I feel great. If I get 8 hours, I feel awesome. And it's a matter of looking ahead and planning out what time of year am I in? Am I periodization? Am I in transition, base, preparation, specialization, or peak? And what life stresses do I have going on right now? So really important to take this all into consideration, but there are general recommendations that are out there that say between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a night are the most beneficial. I'm going to take that a little bit further. There was a fairly large study that was done a year or two ago, and it was looking at the timing of sleep. So what they found, and don't quote me on this, I read the article a couple months ago, and I was floored by it, and I understood it because it goes with everything that I personally feel. But what it said was that the hours before midnight that you're asleep, your body has a natural cycle for the chemicals and the physiology that affects things positively. So personally, since I've read that and I believe in that, I've started telling people that the hours before midnight that you're actually asleep count double or triple that of after. I know personally, if I go to bed at 11 and wake up at 6, I don't feel as fresh as if I went to bed at 9 and woke up at 3:30 or 4. I know that the time isn't exactly the same, but most days of the week I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock-ish. I just really like mornings. I like going out and doing things and getting it done earlier. But you need to find what works for you. So one of the things that we want to make sure we do is fall asleep. So something important is having a regular bedtime routine, whether it's reading before bed, take the TV out of the bedroom, by the way. There's numerous studies that show that the blue light from the TV keeps us from getting REM cycle, and that's really important as an endurance athlete or an athlete at all, because during the REM cycle is when our brain is taking all the actions that we did that day, so the 2-hour bike ride you did and the 1-hour lift, and the body is refining the neuromotor system which you were focusing on for that day or that you were using to be more efficient at what you're doing. That's why practice makes perfect. Practice minus sleep makes longer to perfection, and there's no such thing as perfection but refined motor skill. So really important that you are getting a dream or two each night. And you may not remember it, but you'll know. You'll feel refreshed in the morning more so than you would most other nights. And only you know how you feel during your sleep cycles. Some people wake up and don't know a difference whether they were dreaming or not. Meanwhile, your brother or sister or friend who's staying over for the holidays is like, hey man, you were sleepwalking last night. You were pretty deep into that. You were eating out of the refrigerator and had no clue I was standing there. So try and take it into account that you take the TV out of the bedroom, make sure you're getting between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a night, and make sure that you're not drinking any stimulants, caffeine, alcohol, nicotine within the 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Personally, I try not to have coffee or caffeine in general after 4 p.m. And days that I want to go to bed early, 3 p.m. There is a half-life time for that, for it to stop affecting you as much, and it's important to keep that in mind. So sleep is really important. It will change with the cycles, the periodization that you have throughout the year. You may go through base and have 8 hours of night and feel great, and then in specialization get 8 hours a night and not feel recovered at all. So it's really important that you try and go out and pay attention to that and keep that as part of your training log. And I do recommend, again, keep a training log. Really important. It allows you to track small injuries and make sure you're constantly progressing forward. So books. I've had a lot of questions. What books do you have? What's your go-to book? What's your secret weapon book? I really don't have a secret weapon book or a specific book that I go to. It really depends on the athlete or what I'm looking for. I thought really long and hard about what books I'm going to share with you guys, and I finally decided to share basic knowledge books. And the reason for this is that I personally assign to some knowledge can be very dangerous if you don't have the full picture. So a lot of you out there are exercise physiologists. There's a couple other coaches out there. I have someone's a mechanic at a car garage. Another person's a librarian. So I have everybody that's watching this is from a different background, and I don't know each of you individually yet. Hopefully soon. But I want to try and take a shotgun approach and give you books that I've found that are incredibly beneficial on some level and will help you grow your knowledge about either yourself or training. So we're going to start off with Strength Training Anatomy. This was part of my curricula in undergrad by Frédéric Delavier. And this is great because he goes through basic exercises and he'll show you the different body parts and helps you learn the anatomy as you're going through your exercises. So he also talks a little bit about overuse injuries. He'll talk a little bit about proper form and why it's important to have proper form and common mistakes that people make as far as the form that they have. So this is a really great book that I strongly recommend every single athlete have on their shelf because it will help you learn your body. When you're working with the coach, the more you know your body, the better we can be here to help you. And that's one of the things that over the course of the years that I've worked with athletes, seen an incredible turnover as to the knowledge that they have about their bodies because I teach them. I pull out an anatomy book for most of the assessments when people come in. I'm very visual. I like having people understand exactly what I'm talking about. When I point here, people know that that's the pec major, not the pec minor. So something that I feel is really important, and each and every one of you as an athlete should know and understand the machine that you're using. Really important. So speaking of knowing the machine that you're using, it's also really important to have good mental approach to your coaching, your racing, your training, and this is something that is often overlooked. In my opinion, in my 12 years of being involved in fitness and coaching endurance athletes and power athletes and numerous sports, the mental edge and the positive mental edge is the biggest difference between someone who's winning a gold medal and someone who qualifies and just falls off the face of the earth. Your attitude determines your latitude, as they say. And I personally had the pleasure of seeing and meeting and talking personally on an individual basis with Bobby McGee, and he is absolutely incredible. Just talking to him and hearing that he was supportive of how I was mentally coaching my athletes and giving me feedback for that is incredibly beneficial. This book, whether you're a runner, cyclist, triathlete, or just an everyday go out there and play whatever sport I feel like, this book can help you achieve the most you can out of your life, and that's really what it's about. Because our attitude, good days and bad days, you have to have a positive attitude. You need to be in your own head sometimes to coach yourself through hard times in life or hard times in races. So this is an excellent book. It will help you unlock the limiting factor and help each and every one of you develop a definitive purpose, a definitive major purpose with your life. So really important. There's a lot of different exercises in here. Don't make the mistake I did with my first copy and write in the book. You can see I highlighted some of the important things. So a great book for you to read. You can read it in bits and pieces, but I do recommend reading it straight through the first time. Secondly, The Art of Urban Cycling by Robert Hurst. This is another great book. It's a lot of common, or what should be common knowledge for road cycling. There are so many people and triathletes. I'm going to pick on you. You guys are some of the worst bike handlers out there because your attitude is, I'm going to ride by myself in a race, so what does it matter if I need to handle my bike? Because you're in the aero position, it is incredibly important that you know how to corner, you know how to brake, how to use your gears, how to use your body, how to turn with your hips, how to counter steer. So this is some great basic knowledge, talking about door zone, good or evil, injuries, talking about a lot of basic information that every single cyclist or anybody on a bike should have. And triathletes, go out there and practice those skills. It is so important. I can show you hours of footage of people who can't mount or dismount, hours of footage of people braking through a turn that they should be able to carry speed through, and you waste so much energy when you do that. So learn how to handle your bike. I know I'm picking on you a little bit. I do like you guys a lot. It's just, it drives me crazy when people show up to a group ride and, oh, I'm a triathlete. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It's your safety and everyone else's out there as well. The last book I'm going to talk about is Life's Golden Ticket by Brendon Burchard. This is an analogy, so to speak, or a parable. It talks about a gentleman who goes through, he's unhappy with his life and his adventure through a magical circus, believe it or not, and discovering his true happiness, the key to his true happiness. I've read this book 3 or 4 times myself. It's had an incredible impact on me. I cannot stress enough how great of a book this is. Read it at least once. It's a great story. It's a quick read, 2 to 3 hours, you're done with it, maybe 4. It's a great book. And again, guys, it's been a great week. I'm going to go meet up with some people from the Chic Velo. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Please help me spread my message. 5 people if you can, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be, or blog. And remember, train smarter, not harder, and it's all about you.